Hello everyone, this is White Wolf, and we're going to be talking about freedom is closer than we think it is, because usually we're dwelling within the illusion, dwelling within what hasn't happened yet, dwelling within what's in the past tense instead of what's in the present tense, instead of focusing on the energy of the future, focusing on manifesting the future, focusing on attracting things within our future. We lack the depth and the perception and the foresight to understand that we're here to manifest while we're in the present, to make actions to attract certain circumstances, certain opportunities, and allowing ourselves to be deliberate in our creations, and sometimes pushing ourselves to go beyond our comfort zone. So sometimes freedom is something of a reflection. Sometimes freedom is something that you see in a movie. Sometimes freedom can be the very thing that really allows you to see what you really want to see and what you really want to learn, what you want to really delve within yourself. Freedom is not far away. We always make it into a story. We always make it into an identification, but freedom is always free-flowing. And if we don't have that free-flowing nature of freedom, then we don't have abundance, and we always have lack, and we always have a certain pattern that we're dwelling in. And when we think freedom is far away, or we think all of our goals, our ambitions, our drive, and the relationships that we want in our lives are far away from us, we are always going to feel as if we're on the treadmill and something is being dangled in front of our face, and we're always going to feel like we're never going to grasp it. But sometimes it's just being able to proclaim it, being able to accept it here and now, being able to receive it, being able to transform it and transmute that negative energy and literally say that I am the freedom that I am seeking. I am the Oracle of Bloodline Wisdom. I am all the things that I generate within my reality, and I am a magnetic force that is generating the pulse and the attraction within my reality. So understanding that freedom is not far away from you, freedom is one step closer to acceptance, to reception, to constantly being aware of your automatic choices, but knowing you have the choice and you have the free will to be the freedom that you're seeking. So just because we generate limitations or obstacles or problems doesn't mean we can't find the resolution within our own illusion, so that we can stimulate ourselves a little differently, but find the different simulations that work with different energetic configurations. So we're always trying to shift out of a different state of being, a different state of thinking, a different state of motor function, but also a different state where we can actually receive and actually be coherent with our heart's desire. Because we have to see that our desires, our intentions, our wants are all the same thing. So freedom is literally just changing the routine, it's changing the script, it's changing how you're focusing your attention on all the things that do not bring you resonance and abundance, but focusing on the things that do, and kind of building from that very small point so that you can have that breakdown that turns into a breakthrough, and then you're able to see that freedom is staring you right in the face. Freedom is looking right into your eyes. Freedom is being reflected to you. So if we understand that freedom is being reflected to us all the time, it seems like, that freedom, reflections, lessons, purification, it's always being reflected to us. We just have to look at it and we have to accept it, and we have to understand that by accepting this, that means that we're forlonging and prolonging the state of perception that we can have. So it means that we have to put up the fight. We don't have to put up the fight anymore. We have to put it away. And we can't be so resistant towards the reception. And we can't be running away from the things that want to bless us. And we can't run away from the different states of consciousness when the purification happens, when the healing happens within our lives. And we really allow ourselves to see that freedom is staring directly at us. We don't always think that it's looking at us. We don't think that it's looking for us. We don't even think that it's even possible to have freedom most of the time. Human beings don't even understand that. But it's closer than we think. It's actually somewhere else simultaneously here and now. But we don't think that it's happening because it's not happening within our direct experience. But if we know that it's happening somewhere else, That means we can access it. That means we can tap into the parallel reality. That means we can collapse timelines to attract what we really want out of our lives. So understanding that is that freedom is really over there, and we just have to step into it. Freedom is sometimes pulling it down and accepting the freedom. Abundance is where you feel yourself succeeding when you're not seeing it. And it's having faith in the midst of difficulty, in the midst of chaos, in the midst of everything that happens within your life. Having that conviction within your faith always breeds everything that you desire. Because now you're able to combat it, and you're able to change the narrative and the theme and the energy of it, the attachment of it. So we're practicing detachment when we see that we're from a state of lack into a state of worthiness. Freedom can literally just be a choice that you make. Changing the paradigm is changing the story. And when you change the story, then you are literally changing your life. And you know that it's not too far away from you. Freedom is not far away from us. All the things that we want is not galaxies upon galaxies away. That's why we incarnated on this earth, so that we can get the most out of the blessings and the gratitude, and changing and reinforcing the ways of the Ascended Master at this time point. So, can you be patient? Can you be willing? Can you be teachable? Can you be a good listener? Those are 4 things that will allow you to understand that you can be all the things that you're seeking, that you're wanting, that you desire. We just don't always feel like we can have those things. We don't feel like we can be led by those things. And sometimes we don't feel that we can achieve those things. And then when we think that way, when we act that way, when we project that way, then we are never going to escape reality. Escaping the false reality and then tapping into truth will really allow you to see that escaping the false reality is really you initiating into a different multiverse, into a different gateway and a portal within your own journey, while you're accessing those different thought forms, those different frequencies, those different parallel realities, those different experiences, and those different relationships, so that you're able to understand why you are here. Why are we here? What are we doing? What are we meant to do? And what are the things that we want to do that is of a wave of blessing, instead of something that is forceful, instead of something that is impulsive, instead of something that has friction. There should be flow. So one of the words that I think in our vocabulary is, when we have friction within our life, it doesn't feel very good. But when we have a constant stream and a constant flow within our life, and it's just complete allowance, and it's letting go of controlling everything, and it's letting go of predicting everything, it's letting go of figuring out the outcome, figuring out your life, figuring everything out, even your thoughts. Because you don't have to figure everything out, because freedom can be accessed in this very moment, and see that I'm literally trying to discover how to think and perceive and how to meditate. So already, that's where you can start and see that you're already trying to transform your state. In that moment, you're literally in that moment trying to access the freedom that you're seeking. So when you even go that little step, that could really change how your day goes. Sometimes it's just getting on the right foot, and when you don't get on the right foot, even if you get on the right foot at the end of the day, that's perfectly fine. We're all not perfect. We're all empathic, we're all sensitive, we're all sensing things. Our chakras are coming more into balance, and we're kind of understanding that the energies are more heightened as we grow and as we change and as we progress. We understand that freedom seems to not be what we think it is all the time. So just because we have this a Disney Channel overview of what freedom looks like doesn't mean that's always what freedom is. I think it's our definition of it. If we can find our own definition of what freedom is, and what we're speaking towards, and how we are able to plant new seeds and actually place our attention towards something that is actually aligning to its own power. So if we can foresee the future, we can have these prophetic visions, and we can have visualization, then we are able to really paint and script our lives as if we're the intention itself, as if we are the idea, as if we are the manifestation, because we are the manifestation of life created within this universe. So yes, we are the creation of life. We are the manifestation of life. We are the reason for the trees, the oxygen, everything. So we don't always understand that, but that's how we appreciate what's around us. It's kind of like I did a video today where I was out in the yard and I wanted to have this tree behind me and my grass and things of that nature. And hello, how are you? And it's because I wanted to reflect that back to the other people of what they were experiencing. When we appreciate that we get to eat, that we get to live, that we get to breathe, that we get to laugh and love and rejoice in that, then we are able to access so many different personality traits and so many different waves of prosperity, because we're accessing a higher state of resonance. So it's kind of like the worst word in your vocabulary could be friction. And another one, resistance. And another one, it's not even a word, but it's a phrase, being hard-headed. And I have that trouble sometimes too. But most people, when they're really delving deep in themselves, are hard-headed. So it's okay to be hard-headed, because that means you're actually wanting to learn. And a lot of masters go through this. A lot of people who are going through the journey itself, we have so many different ways of interpreting our own journeys. We have different resonances, we have different gifts, we have different ways of teaching, relaying. But the simple art of imagination and creativity, no matter what form that it is, it's giving life to something. I think that's what's most important, is that it's giving life to something. It's giving that breath of fresh air. It's giving back a portion of itself back to its creation, back to the collective. So the universe and everybody in it, whether they're awakened or not, we're all going through and trying to make the most of the human experience. And particularly, I'm not one that really is totally in love with the human experience. Because I think some things take a little bit too much time to manifest. But it's okay to be honest. I think a lot of the times we feel like in spirituality we have to practice this overconfidence instead of empowerment. Be honest with yourself. If you have frustrations, put them out on paper, cuss at God, or really vocalize what you want. If you don't like something, just tell your guides. If something's happening in your life, just ask. I think a lot of the times we're just not asking the right questions. We're not wondering where we need to go, what we need to do. And sometimes it's just being a little simplistic about what you really want to do as your meditative path. We always have to see that our routine is our routine, and our way of being is not regulated by one's truth. But it's really just how you emulate spirit in your own way. So emulate spirit, but don't talk down to yourself. Don't put yourself down. Don't try to force everything and control everything and try to project this on this person. But project the things that you do want. Like, I want to be healthy and whole and vibrant and understanding. Like, I want to learn more. I want to be better. I want to develop more. I want to see more within myself, because that's you accessing freedom and changing the paradigm itself, because you're taking that step to show up to your life as if you're meant to be there, as if your life depended on it. Showing up to your life as if you're meant to be there is something I said a long time ago, because I felt like, if there was something happening within your life and you were forced and you had no other choice, you would run down the street like Tom Cruise and save the person that was, being robbed or something. I know that's an extreme situation and circumstance, but it's kind of the same thing. We don't really act like that as human beings because we don't live our life usually as if our life depended on it. Because sometimes that's not a good state to be in all the time, but the point is that if you wanted to live that life and you wanted to be observant and you wanted to be exuberant of that energy and you wanted to be passionate and you wanted to be overflowing and you just wanted to go for it, you wouldn't even think twice about achieving what you wanted to achieve. But it's the hesitation, it's the second guessing, it's the doubt that kind of creeps in. And it's like, then something comes in and you're thinking about something that's not even your thoughts, right? Then you're accessing a lower reality, a negative reality, or a negative circumstance, and then you kind of talk yourself out of it, or you kind of butt out and you're just not really into it. It's a difference between resonating with something and like, I don't really want to do that, or you're feeling into the energy of something and you're like, oh, I don't need to go there, I want to go here. That's a little different. But like, when it's, that it's something that you need to do, and you know that it's something that you need to purify or something that you need to release, and even something that you need to share and get off your chest. Most of the time when you do that, that's when shit gets real, because it's a healthy way of reflecting to yourself, holding yourself accountable, holding your feet to the carpet. But I think a lot of the times with meditation, we act like we try to play games. We try to play a game, but meditation's not a game. You can live your life like a video game, but it's not a board game. You're not just going to move a piece and just automatically just do something. But sometimes it just takes the work and seeing from different perspectives, seeing from different avenues, and seeing from the vantage point of, how can I do this better? How can I be better? How can I do it in a way that makes sense, but also give myself that sense and sensibility, but also reflect it in a way that makes complete sense to me? How can I make sense of my life? How can I make sense of the here and the now? And how can I make sense of what I'm experiencing, and how can I do better and progress on better and tap into my heart and know myself even more purified? So sometimes it's not about being the most purified person or being the most well-versed person, the most intelligent. But it's really understanding that you don't have to be the most skilled person on the face of the planet. It's not about being the most skilled, it's not about being the most talented, it's not about being the smartest person in the room. But it's finding something that you're really good at and then doing it. Finding something that you're good at and just do it. And even if you have to do something else for a little bit, but don't lose sight of your dreams. Don't lose sight of the things that you want to do. If it's just more relaxation, relax more. If it's more eating stuff that's actually good for you, eat more stuff that's good for you. I'm not a dietitian, and I'm not a person who diets frequently, but it's kind of like we all need to do stuff that's beneficial for us. And I think the most important thing is to literally do stuff that's not giving us a disadvantage. We want stuff to advance us. We want the advantage. We want the upper hand. Not to do something untoward, but to have the upper hand just in our journeys. Because if I say something, and my guides and my higher self do this in God, if I say something and people take it out of context, that's on them. And that's kind of how we should live our lives. We shouldn't live our lives based on our surroundings. If people don't like the way you act, if people don't like the way you share your truth, if people don't like the very fact that you meditate or you do psychic readings for people, find new surroundings, find new experiences, and find new people and appearances. I don't think we should change who we are to fit a certain mold. I think that's actually not a truth that we should breathe in. We should not change who we are. Now, progression and emulation and empowering yourself and actually being more conscious, that's different. But if you are standing in your truth and then there's people like, oh, I don't like this, or you have a spouse or a relationship, they don't agree with your meditative path or stuff like that, you don't have to change and stoop to people's level to soothe their egos or soothe that lower paradigm or lower vibration. You don't have to conform and change for others. You just have to change and migrate into the state of being that you are. You know, we shouldn't change who we are. We shouldn't change our transcendentalness for other people so that we can dwell within their distortions and limitations and expectations of how they feel about us. Because within meditation, it's like you learn these things when you're growing up and changing and stuff like that. You learn about all these things. And then when you hear about meditation, it's the exact opposite of what you've been told, right? And then you hear about all this other stuff, and that the other stuff that you've been sold your entire life isn't the way. Not for me, and maybe not for you. So I don't think changing and stooping to a certain level is growth and motivation. I think staying in our own lane and focusing on our heart's desire and focusing on how we can become more in depth with our meditative abilities, that's where we are more focused and more aligned, and we have more precision within our lives. And there's something directing our lives instead of just running around like a chicken with its head cut off. So we have a sense of direction, we have a sense of repetition and consistency, and there's a vulnerability and a sensitivity there, but there's also a state of authority and a constant state of psychic protection. It means that you're not going to bend because this person says this. You're not going to bend because your job is not your forever state. And it's kind of like just being in your truth and living in it and never going away from it. Never folding, never selling yourself to other people or society or the world at large. But being true to yourself no matter what happens, because that's how we have the strength and the courage to live our lives. That gives us strength, and that gives us courage, and that gives us peace and understanding of mind, body, and spirit. So that gives us peace of mind, body, and spirit, unity, love, faith, and conviction. To just push through the boundaries. And if we're able to push through those boundaries, then there are no limitations or expectations or forcefulness. Then we don't have to force anything. We don't have to be beholden to a certain paradigm. And since we don't have to do that, then we don't have to really feel like we have to live up to other people's expectation or expectations themselves. But we just have to live within our own peace and resonance and love and faith. And that's what we do. So, this is White Wolf. We're going to do some healing energy. So if you want to take part in this healing energy, I hope everyone is doing well. As you're coming into the live feed, feel free to receive this healing energy. And we're just going to tap into light, and we're also just going to align ourselves to the direct perception of the Oracle Bloodline Wisdom. And we're going to be activating the heart, and we're going to be aligning more to the Divine Feminine to help us with our vulnerable energies, our sensitive energies, but also opening up for more reception so that we can align the truth with the Divine Masculine. So everybody take a deep breath. We're going to do the Kundalini energy and shed layers and let go of negative energy, let go of thought forms that are negative, let go of attachments that are not necessary, let go of people, places, and things, and let's tap into our own psychic palace. And let's just see ourselves as new, as fresh, as whole. And as we shed those layers of skin, we're going to call upon the Divine Feminine, and we're going to ground deep within Middle Mother Gaia Earth, Archangels of Love and Light, who's willing to cleanse us of our auric field, tapping into God's Source energy and the Great I Am, diving deep into Middle Mother Gaia Earth. Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene are coming in, helping us activate the heart. But also, some of you have purple hearts, some of you have yellow hearts, and some of you have an emerald green heart. So that has a very good significance for all the people who are watching this. So activating those hearts. And then also, we are just going to have armor. It's like this beautiful magenta armor. And what this is doing is that it's giving you an energetic force field of protection with Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary. So they're giving us this armor, and also they're sending out these light codes, and we are receiving them here and now. Which is helping us reinforce the new DNA, and also a sign of fertility, a sign of new grace, new manifestations, and new waves of prosperity. So now we have the Apostle Paul coming through. He has a beautiful green ray of healing. And he's also helping us heal emotionally. He's helping us with our sensitivities, and he's helping us be more attuned to reception. So as the Apostle Paul walks around us in a circle, he is helping us be more in tune with our Divine Feminine, but also infusing it with the masculine. And then now we're going to activate the Merkaba within our third eye. And also we're going to access the Akashic Records as well for you guys. It keeps all the record of your past lifetimes. And also your guides reside there. And also the inner child resides there. So if you start seeing where you have built civilizations in different planetary systems, or you see yourself in a different realm, or you just see yourself in your happy place, that's your Akashic Record. So activating the Akashic Record here and now. Now Jesus is helping recalibrate all of the chakras, and also helping us ground within the earth. And also he's helping us with the palm of our hands, generating the power within the palm of our hands, generating different auras within the palm of our hands, and really helping us understand that some of you have an amethyst, a violet flame, and a bionic blue light going through your guys' hands at this moment, and also through the fingertips as well. And also, we're going to download some light language. So if you start speaking in light language, a lot of you are accessing different past lifetimes as well. And you're also accessing different languages, different lineage, different DNA, angelic and extraterrestrial. So when we're speaking light language, we're actually speaking a lot of things into existence. So if you've never done it, I did it before early on, but now that's just being downloaded within the creation. And we also have Merlin, and he has his staff, and he has this white light of purification. And what this is doing is that it's going around us as like an outline over our bodies, which this is an energetic force field that goes on top of the electromagnetic kinetic source energy force field, so that it allows the energies to be repelled. It allows new energies to be cemented within ourselves, and we gain trust through this. We're going to bring all of the energies in. And we are going to install them within our hard drives. To have the light codes, to have the frequencies, to have sacred geometry, the Merkaba, the recognition of the Akashic records, and becoming the higher self. So we're also going to transform into the higher self at this moment in time. So just say, I accept my higher self, and then you are the higher self. So reciprocate this, know this within yourself. And as the transmission is coming to a close, we're all going to take one last deep breath, and then the transmission will be complete. So I hope you all could hear me. I hope you really enjoyed the healing energy that you took in. And Christine talked about 222. It's 5:23 here. It was 5:22 before I probably opened my eyes. But that was the healing energy, guys. Also, you guys can book private sessions with me. I have a 40-minute special for $100 and 1-hour sessions for $200. And I'm going to be going live tonight. And I'm going to do this weekly with readings, healings, activations. I'm going to be doing $15 donations. I'm going to be going live at 10 or 11 p.m. during the week now, doing readings, healings, activations. And I just want to give a shout out to you guys. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the healing energy. I hope those activations were helpful. I hope the guides coming through were very powerful. It seemed very powerful. And I hope you really enjoyed the message. When I share and I channel, I never really know what I'm going to say, but I just leave everything out on the table, and then I just kind of leave it there for interpretation, but also just resonate with what you resonate with, and whatever you don't resonate with, just throw it in the trash, So I want to thank you guys so much for being a part of this live feed. And also just remember, freedom is very much close to us. Freedom is not far away from us. We just feel that the freedom that we're looking for is completely over on this other side. So when we think that freedom is far away from us, we are giving an attachment to a belief. And when we have something that we believe in, then we don't know it. So a lot of the times we believe things instead of just knowing it. So when you just know it, you just know yourself. You know what you want, you know what you desire, and you just are it. So a lot of people, we just believe things all the time. Just don't believe, just know, and just reciprocate and just receive. So thank you guys so much. Book private sessions. Contact me on my TikTok channel. If you want to book a private session, book a time, date, and day. Also, please keep the appointments, guys. I had an incident with a person and they kept on rescheduling. So just please keep your appointments. Also, I'll give you contact information. You can email me and things of that nature. And yeah, I'm going to do readings tonight. But thank you guys so much. God bless and namaste.